Tonight's broadcast of the Nerd Academy podcast presents to you The Road to Doomsday, the MCU REWATCH podcast brought to you by the Nerd Academy podcast. I'm your host, Jarod Bachman-Stubbs, or I guess I should say The Road to Doomsday, starring Jarod Bachman-Stubbs and Miss Taylor. And it zooms in on Taylor and does a cute little thing with special guest star Mitch692 from the Mitch692 YouTube channel and Comic Book Cast. And Taylor's back again. Due to technical difficulties, we gotta hit the TV static thing.
Actually, sorry, I was taken out of the broadcast because
What?
Can you hear my
No, we can't.
Damn it! Agatha all along.
Indeed. Also, don't adjust your laptop, phone, or TV. I did this on purpose because it's WandaVision.
I thought I was gonna do gangbangers with that song, but it's fine.
It's okay. It's okay, honey.
Add it in post. It's fine. It's fine.
We already get enough copyright strikes for music that is royalty free.
You can get away with 5 seconds. Just have a clean 5 seconds of it. It's totally fine.
But we are here. We are finally in phase 4. The age of Marvel expanding, maybe overextending. And the Multiverse Saga is here. WandaVision, also the beginning of Marvel Studios TV that is 100% canon to the MCU. Much love to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Netflix verse.
They're not dead. They're just not canon.
They're just not canon. But I'm very excited to talk about this. I'm going to be honest, I have not quite figured out the format for how we're going to talk about TV. This is going to kind of be an experiment. There's still a trivia segment. I don't really have a background segment prepared for this one, so we're kind of going to jump into the conversation here soon. But
gonna wing it like Marvel.
But before we jump into our broadcast today, brief word from our sponsors at Sunday's Bloody Mary. Sunday's Bloody Mary is the only Bloody Mary accoutrement trusted to be better than a from-scratch Bloody Mary. If you want to support your favorite nerds, use the link in the description down below and use the code TNAP, TNAP at checkout to get 10% off your order and help out your favorite nerds while you do it.
I like this voice. It's fun.
Do not get used to transatlantic, Jarod. It is actually making my already congested sinuses much, much worse.
I enjoyed it. I thought you were going to do it the entire video.
I don't think I have that in me.
It was a threat when I said it. I thought you were going to do this the entire video. Threat.
But we do still have trivia, because who am I if I don't subject all of my friends to doing trivia with me?
Yeah.
Question number 1. What movie title inspired Kevin Feige to name the series WandaVision? This is actually very funny. Mitch, do you have any guesses?
I'm giving up.
Not on the top of my head, no.
So
it was 5 years ago. I would have been able to tell you, but not now.
So Kevin Feige, he really loved the idea for the show. He really loved the concept, but he just didn't know what to call it. He didn't want to just call it Wanda and the Vision. He didn't want to call it Scarlet Witch and the Vision. And then he saw a little ditty called Black Klansman.
Oh.
And really liked the way that when the title is written out as it is meant to be, it is just the words kind of smushed together that create a portmanteau, because it is BLACKKKLANSMAN. So that's kind of where he got the idea to smush it into WandaVision, both getting in the names of the characters, but also the television kind of send up as well. For your next question, Mitch, do not intervene. I want to make Taylor suffer a little bit.
That's rude.
Fine.
What does SWORD stand for?
Sentient weapon, observation, records? No. Something, it's our division, I want to say. Department, probably. But sentient weapons, observations, our department.
Our department. The R department.
Technically not wrong.
No. Mitch, for the steal, do you know the R?
Wait,
It's
we can
response,
steal
isn't it?
now?
No, I'm mostly kidding. It's report division.
I thought it was response.
It's report. Response probably in the comics. In the MCU, it is Sentient Weapon Observation Report Division.
That's dumb, but okay.
Fuck,
Everybody
you
just
being
loves
again.
their
God damn.
acronyms.
Well, he had to change it.
They have a real
the
boner
sentient
for their
weapon.
acronyms.
Yeah,
Did he
because the
have
whole
to
point is
change
they're
them?
monitoring sentient weapons like
Yeah.
Wanda Maximoff and the Vision.
Again, they really love those acronyms. They're gonna get a word in there no matter what. And then we can match back to a logo. Even better.
Showrunner Matt Shakman was very well chosen to lead production on WandaVision. What prior I wrote this. I had a typo in this as I wrote this at work. I have no idea. What previous experience made him a shoo-in for this, Taylor?
Girl, I don't know. Maybe I did some other witchy project.
Not right, but you're close. Mitch?
Wasn't he one of the Rick and Morty guys?
He may have worked on Rick and Morty, but he was a child sitcom actor.
Of course he was, yeah.
Okay.
Because an actor means you can make a show.
Yeah.
No, but he's...
I'm starting to understand where Fuggy went wrong with the TV stuff.
No, but
not here.
He was working on sitcoms as a kid. And then your last question.
Oh my god.
Where was Doctor Strange originally intended to cameo?
In WandaVision.
In a commercial.
You are right that it was in one of the commercials. Do you know which commercial?
No. Probably the Watch. That would make a lot of sense to me. That'd be really traumatic.
Not
for him
right,
too.
but I like that. I like that a lot. But it was
that would have
not
been really
Watch.
traumatic for both of them. Because it would, hey, we're gonna get mixed up into this whole thing. She might as well use your, little souvenir of your trauma against you.
Mitch, do you have a guess?
It's the pharmacy, isn't it?
He was meant to be the pharmacist.
Oh, that's funny.
The original plan was that would be him trying to get it as whatever the antidepressant drug.
Isn't that talking about the reality stone, that one as well? Or it's talking about a Infinity Stone?
It mentions the reality, or it mentions the Mind Stone. Yeah.
That's the one, yeah.
But yeah, the only thing I have for background is basically a light summary of the show, which is that this was kind of a fun little blender experiment, taking equal parts send-ups of classic sitcoms like Dick Van Dyke, I Love Lucy, Brady Bunch, Malcolm in the Middle, and mixing it with a very modern-feeling, introspective examination of the shattered psyche of one Wanda Maximoff and what happens when you have the power to rewrite reality and a whole lot of reality you want to rewrite. How bad does it go, especially when you have a traumatic hyperfixation on old sitcoms? What a wild fucking show this is.
So good.
Mitch, I remember being so grateful to have you basically on call when we were covering WandaVision. Because this was the beginning of getting into some territory I was not super familiar with. In terms of like some of like the mystical stuff that it kind of acts as set dressing for Wanda's abilities, some of the more like woo-woo sci-fi stuff with the Vision. So what were you thinking? What were you feeling when this was first coming out?
that I can't believe how many people were yapping on about fucking Mephisto, despite him making zero fucking
I do
sense.
remember that one.
Zero sense for why Mephisto would ever be here of all places.
Well, because of the boys. Like it's because at the end of the day they know that like the boys come into existence here. Therefore, Mephisto has to be involved. Because that's what happened. But
do you think part of
the
that
this goes?
I do too. Do you think some of the Mephisto stuff, something I was very much a part of because I
remember.
I know you do. Well, no, because I like.
Meanwhile, I was like watching this and I was like, "Yes, Queen. Yes, I know, baby girl. Go off. Popcorn in hand. Yes, slay."
Do you think part of that was a longing to have another big bad in place?
No, I think it was generally people don't know about Cthulhu, so they just went Mephisto, and just trying to put him in everything.
Oh, isn't that the guy who possessed Pietro and then put him in that really hot outfit?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, the gold one where the little lightning bolt with a chest cut out. I remember this vividly.
I remember the suit.
I think it's so funny the way Mitch pronounces Chthon, by the way.
It's Cthulhu.
Honestly,
I've only ever heard Chthon.
I mean, you said antennae at one point on this, so let's not take
was
the
calling
word
him
as gospel.
Cthulhu because I didn't care what his name was.
Cthulhu was closest. In fairness.
I was like, I don't give a fuck. I don't respect your identity, but I do respect that outfit.
I prefer Chthon as a pronunciation.
I literally was
but
like,
you would, because it sounds like Thrawn.
Never
it sounds like Star
Wars. Go.
Okay,
honestly,
first of all,
wish you could get that picture pulled up here right now.
Well, find it. I'll throw it on screen.
Baby, easy.
Just email it to Nerd Academy. First of all, I am not a Thrawn meat writer like that.
Oh, like that? Okay. Just a little bit of.
I don't meet ride Thrawn. Mitch, on Pro and Noob, I'm constantly making fun of why I don't like Thrawn.
I have to log into my Tumblr for this, guys.
Fine.
But no, I mean, well, Taylor tries to find a suggestive costume for Quicksilver.
For Pietro Maximoff.
They're all
on my Tumblr.
But I remember when this came out. You know, I said this when Taylor and I were watching the show together that. On some level, I think it is kind of fucked up that this is the first show at bat because it's so strong and can only function as a television show.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of the shows after this, for good, for bad, whatever, a lot of them feel like they were movie screenplays that got put through the make it a mini series ringer.
Yeah.
Hold up, you guys. It's over.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, all right. Got that.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel are the three that come to mind the quickest for me as, goddamn, I wish this was a movie. I think this would have been much stronger as a movie. And WandaVision being the first...
I don't know if I agree with Miss Marvel.
It's been so long. I remember thinking that when I watched it. But I find myself kind of just lamenting that this did kind of set the bar astonishingly high.
Because it was good as fuck, dude.
Well, it's really good. It's also really heady, super conceptual. You know, this whole idea that is one of those, like, it sounds insane. The pitch sounds insane for this.
It's very high concept.
To go,
but also, like, I feel like it's so necessary for Wanda as a character because her involvement in the story, like greater and otherwise, is so difficult to.
The subject line is hot Quicksilver.
Yeah, it is. And so when you're looking at a character that's so difficult to portray just on like a base level, you have to come up with something clever, and you have to come up with something fresh and new, but also you have to do something that is true to this version of the character you're doing.
Right.
Yeah, get him up here. Come on.
Okay, I'm working on it.
We're all waiting, Jared. Come on, Chip Joe.
So, are you saying Mephisto put Pietro in this suit, or
No,
I am
no.
Cathan? I see.
Cathan.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kavan
yeah.
is possessing him, and he immediately put him into this hot ass outfit. He was like, "Nah, fuck whatever you had on. That was ugly."
I like the red.
He looks fine. Okay, he looks fine. Sorry, I'll never get my favorite character in live action. Okay.
You have got it twice.
No, I didn't actually. I had Speed in one version. Okay, let's be so serious. The X-Men version of Quicksilver is just Speed.
I wouldn't even go as far as to say that was Speed.
That's
unfair to
Speed than
Speed.
Quicksilver.
It's closer, but it's not fair.
It's closer
Don't do
than
Speed like
Quicksilver.
that.
Don't do Quicksilver like that.
I
then
didn't make the
other
movie.
The other version of him sucked ass. Okay.
I just gotta
absolute
say,
Not fast enough.
I just gotta say,
fine.
can't
Not
relate.
fast enough. Exactly.
Thwip, can't relate.
Wow, you have Old Man Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, and then
and Tom Holland and the Spider-Verse movies
must be so nice.
and some amazing cartoons.
I'll never be happy. Okay.
Spider Slop. Wow, what a thing.
I will
Oh, fuck you.
I will never know happiness. Okay.
You did not just say spider slop.
I should have put
Oh,
on my
it's Spider
Quicksilver
Slop.
and Scarlet Witch earrings that my aunt got me, and they're like they're lead earrings. They're lead casting. They weigh like 2 pounds each, which is they don't get to be worn. But they were
That's how much lead
hand-painted.
Pietro took in Age of Ultron.
Honestly, exactly the same amount. Perhaps less. So they're hand painted little like lead castings of the characters. I need to fucking dig them up, find them.
Just like Pietro.
Oh yeah, out of the grave.
All right.
Honestly, it would have been
Back
easy.
on track.
Literally, when Agatha
I mean,
was like,
it's all related, Jared.
no, yeah, seriously, it's all a part of the show. When Agatha was like, I would have used necromancy to bring your brother back, but honestly, he was on another country, and that just doesn't seem like a time-saving activity for me. So I just found a new one. And I was like,
Found the worst one. God damn.
Ralph Boner, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
All of it for a boner joke.
I'm surprised that wasn't a question, Jared, for the trivia thing.
Because everybody remembers that his name is Boner.
No,
Everybody
but why he's actually called Boner? What's that in reference to? It's not.
Oh, I
just
don't know
a
what
dick
it's
joke.
in reference to.
I did know, but I forget.
Yeah.
What is it? I don't remember. I remember that was a thing.
I don't know. I just know it was a reference to some character from some show.
All right. Well, either way. But no, you're right. It is incredibly high concept. And
boo now. Yeah, you could have boo because you don't bring a fun fact of information and then not have any more information.
I did. I just didn't have the full thing.
I just needed a little bit more.
Like Wanda having vision. It's not the full thing.
It's not even half the full thing. Oh, good news,
95%.
everybody. If you guys are familiar with any of our other episodes, the title is no longer hanging up at our
Wow.
Do we remember that? Does everybody remember the WandaVision deed from a previous episode of
yeah.
That
frame is now currently housing the Revenge of the Jedi poster.
Wow.
It's gone. It's no longer in our it's no longer hanging up.
Okay, you make it sound so mean. It's waiting in the other room.
It sounds pretty mean if you ask me.
I suggested to use the frame.
Taylor suggested. Anyway, back on track.
But
back
I
on track.
want to
Back
throw it
on track.
Jared because it's more fun.
Back on track. I think what makes this show like kind of one of the high points for the MCU period is that kind of what we were talking about when we a couple weeks ago on Avengers Endgame was the double-edged sword that is being in a very succinct conversation with the audience. And that this show does such a good job at showing the intentional cracks in the facade that welcomes speculation, that welcomes like a very critical level of engagement. So like we want like we as people, we want to figure out the twist.
It feels like we're one of the townspeople, like honestly.
In many ways.
Throughout the entire series, like we are at the same level of understanding as a lot of the townspeople. Like we don't know whether or not this is real. And then when we figure out it's real, we're like, is this an okay thing for her to be
Yeah.
doing?
Is this Wanda doing it? Is this an outside force? I think that's another reason
The answer
why
is
a lot
yes.
of the
No.
I think a lot of
This is
the
Mephisto, actually. Yeah, I remember.
I think that, but I think
Yeah.
that's where a lot of the Mephisto stuff came from. Was that like very early
it was
on?
like it was Jimmy Woo. It was Wanda who is doing this to you. Like
Exactly,
it was
that,
all
like-
of that
Yeah,
in the
mm.
trailers and in everything else. Like it was the immediate like Wanda could not be doing this ideal.
Right.
That was unfortunately just wildly untrue because she is capable of doing this because she did do this.
Well, put a pin in that specific idea for a moment, because there's something I've been thinking about a lot since we rewatched the show that I haven't been able to get out of my head. But I do think there is some level of like we don't want to accept that Wanda's doing this. Is that this isn't of
Well,
her
neither did
volition?
Jimmy.
Yeah, but like I think that's also part of why so many people went to Mephisto, is that this seems like a really wildly fucked up Faustian bargain at its core, where it's like, okay, Wanda,
The
you
monkey's
had,
paw.
as you said to Thanos, everything taken away from you. How much would you like to have it back?
Yeah, it's the monkey's paw. Like it's wishing for something and getting the
You,
worst version of that
yeah,
every time.
you'll have it back, and you'll have a very Pollyanna saccharine version of it, but none of it's real, and thousands of people are being held captive because of it. People are suffering because of it. You are doing damage to the barriers of reality itself, but you get to live out I Love Lucy with the Vision.
Yeah,
And I think that's a part of it too, is that like it does
I think
feel
that's good
like
for
some
her.
fucked up Faustian bargain that I like. I think that was also part of like the Mephisto of it all, is that like this is a character known for ruining people's lives with, like
Do you mean
sweetheart
Mephisto
deals.
or Wanda?
Mephisto, like
Because
it's
both of them are well known for ruining people's lives.
sure, but I mean like with these like fucked up
One's justified.
bargains.
She's totally justified, yeah.
No more mutants, baby. I don't know.
Exactly.
Come on, Taylor,
Someday when we
defend
get-
that.
when we
Defend
get a
that,
house
Taylor.
that's dead out. Don't tempt me. So if we ever get an MCU House of M storyline, you guys, I'm gonna be in the streets. I will be the definition of I am seated. The theater employees are scared because the movie has not started production, but I am seated. I would be in the chair. Like I will be seated in the seat that I will see the movie in, and I will never leave.
No more
Casting will
movies.
be begun.
No more movies.
Not for anybody else. Not till I get mine, okay?
Just to go back to the whole Ralph Boner thing, it's a Growing
Right.
Pains reference.
Oh, okay.
Because Shackman was in Growing Pains in 88.
There you go. But I do
did just
think
Google
it's
that show.
I take back the Boo Mitch now.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
I do think that it makes up so much of the backbone is like the conversation, and it breeds theories, some of them bad, again, for every brilliant theory that panned out about Endgame, there were the Infinity Stone spell Thanos, the N is necklace, and H is her. Which, again, it's just such a funny theory Mitch brought up some time ago on CBC when I was
so
on.
Funny.
I have not been able to stop
so
thinking
dumb.
about it. But for each of those, we also have a lot of ideas about WandaVision, that people were on the money about. People were very quick to figure out the trajectory the show was going on, piecing things together. But you also had people like myself who were ready to go to war over Mephisto. People like, and I'm saying this with no animosity.
Stars.
This is not these are not me firing any shots. I mean this sincerely. I found the new Rockstar's like Mephisto theory to be compelling. I appreciated it.
It's confirmation bias. That's what that is.
Yeah, I wonder if they. Sorry, I'm not going to say anything else.
I mean, like everything else, they probably got it off Reddit or somewhere.
Hey, yo!
And I'm not saying that. That is not my take.
Thank you. I was gonna say it too. Like I'm sure that somebody else probably also had that same theory.
I say it's
Hey.
a theory channel. They get everything from Twitter and Reddit.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's if the
You take
studio's not
enough
going,
tweets.
hey, look
You
at
take
this.
enough tweets and put them together, and you get a theory.
Exactly.
Don't get me started on the studios.
Anyway.
I have my conspiracy theory about what I can only call nerd pundit insider trading. But
Was that done by Epstein as well? Sorry.
Jeff Epstein, the Five Nights at Freddy's fan,
Notorious
no
Fortnite
more,
player.
no more New York financier. We need to let the New York financier jokes die. It is all about the fact that man was in the weeds with FNAF.
It makes so much sense. That entire fan base. I get it now.
Deeply, fuck you.
I did.
Deeply funny to me. But okay,
it's all just a way to get Mephisto in by eating babies. That's what it is.
Truly. But yeah, no, Taylor, you not to put your business in the streets. You have you are very deeply connected to Wanda as a character because
absolutely
her journey of processing grief in some good ways and some not so good ways.
I've done things that are not great in coping with trauma.
I know this character speaks to you because of that grief and how much it defines her character. I kind of would give you the floor for a minute to just kind of talk about those big themes.
I absolutely okay. I waited for this show to come out in its entirety before watching it. I watched it the day that the series finale came out. I avoided all social media. I avoided everything possible. I had no idea what was going to happen during this. I was just so excited. And I knew I couldn't wait. I knew if I started it, I was going to get mad because I couldn't get more and I couldn't get all of it. And I wouldn't know. Because Quicksilver is my absolute favorite character of all time. I think that has been well established. Since the time I was like 6 years old, I fell in love with this character and I've never stopped loving that character. And a part of that character is his twin sister, Wanda, and I love her deeply as well. I think that she is so compelling. I think she is so tragic. I think she is so flawed. I think she is times really poorly written. But also when she is written well, it is so well. So like when she is done good, it is some of the best character work you could ask for from a fictional character. When she is done bad, it is girl in gypsy costume throwing red balls of light at people. And it is insensitive at best. But when she is done well, as we see here in the show, because I think Elizabeth Olsen cares as an actress very deeply about this character. I think we can see that through all of her interviews, through her interactions, through the way that she has advocated for this character and the way that she has stepped in to kind of mediate discussions about this character. I have come very far in my appreciation for Elizabeth Olsen in this role because when she was announced as Wanda, I was pissed. I was like fucking mad. I was like, this is bullshit. Why is this white lady playing her? And then I was like, oh, Aaron Taylor Johnson is playing Quicksilver. Why is this white man playing him? Like, sorry, these characters are not like at a bare minimum not white. Even if you're not going to go with like their most recognized storyline, hereditary parentage, they're still not white in that story. Like,
right,
they are raised by people of color because they fit in that group. They are fit in the Romani, and they have life. They have family. That's who raised them and who influenced their upbringing, and everything else. In the MCU, obviously, that doesn't exist. It's a fake nation called Sokovia, which is maybe in Eastern Europe.
It is. Yeah.
It is
Vaguely, well, based on the accent, vaguely Eastern Europe. You know,
I
we
think
don't
when they say it's somewhere around Ukraine.
well, we just don't get any real
Yeah.
consistent because it's not real. Like, and I get it. Like,
Right.
Wondagore wasn't real either. So, like, cool. But like, at least Wondagore is a fake made up place that has history for this character and not a fully made up place because we can't talk about anything about these two characters who we are deciding to bring in. Whatever. Um, but like I did not really appreciate either of those two characters. Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Um, and just I didn't like the way that they were handled. And rewatching Age of Ultron, I have a much softer heart than I did when I first saw it because I was so overtly disappointed with both characters when I had seen it in the initial like in 2015 when that came out. I dyed my hair white. Me and all of my friends dressed up in like the Disney bound version of like characters that were going to be in this like in the film. Like it was an all out event. Like my dad drove us. Like it was a whole thing. Because my dad doesn't drive us unless it's special, and he makes me drive. Um, so we go and we're there, and my really good friend at the time, who her name was Tyra, or her name is Tyra, hopefully. Sorry, I'm just used to people I don't know not being around. So her name is Tyra. She was my like really good friend at the time. It was super into the comics as well, very into the storytelling, all of it, all of it. She dressed up as Nick Fury. And during the film, she was like, "Hey, girlie, how are you doing? Do you like this?" And I was like, "I fucking hate this shit, dude." And I have come so far on that opinion.
Yeah.
So far. Because again, watching
Character growth.
WandaVision.
Let's
Thank
go.
you. Thank you. That is growth. That's personal growth, honestly.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Taylor.
And
Congratulations.
I have come so far because again, I think that like Elizabeth Olsen has such a deep like reverence for this character. I love the way that they have used her since then. Um, Mostly we won't talk about Civil War. But like her in this series absolutely cemented to me that this is one of my absolute favorite characters in the MCU, period. There is like she is top tier. Like I love her so deeply. I find her relationship to grief through this like healing in a lot of ways because it does not sugarcoat it at all. Like it is deeply, profoundly sad, period. Like, not just for her or like the townspeople, or it's just sad. Like, she is so unable to look at the situation for what it is because she has had so little time to process any of it and is expected to simply move on. She comes back from the snap, and Vision's gone. Everything's
Right.
already like everything's happened. Um then she goes to fight Thanos again, but it's not him, and it doesn't matter because even though she could have soloed him in that moment, he had to fry his army to stop her. But like
Takes away the catharsis.
she
Like
moves
he robs her of the catharsis of getting to
Because
kill him.
she moves
Yeah.
on from like the moment of absolute tragedy to, okay, everybody, good work, great talk. We have a funeral for Tony. Um, Call us if you need anything. And she's just like left there. Nobody gives a shit that Vision's still dead. And like, granted, sometimes when you lose an appliance, you just buy a new one. But when you're talking about When you're looking at it from this point of view, I mean, come on, you couldn't have at least put flowers out for the guy. And then, as we find out through the show, she is presented with his corpse being dissected by just some fuckface who is kind of the devil. And he basically is like, haha, sorry,
Was it like Commander Hayward, or I think his name is?
Yeah.
Is it Hayward?
It doesn't matter.
I
I'll look it up. 'Cause I can't remember his name.
So your little robot's dead and he's not coming back. And I just wanted to show you his corpse so you know that like it's mine now. And I hope you are super cool with that. Bye. And so she fucks off and then just proceeds to ruin like 1,000 people's lives for like a week. Which
it's a slight inconvenience for people, let's be honest.
a week, okay, I'm sure the government's going to give them a lot of, money probably for their troubles.
No.
I would hope.
Hayward, yeah.
I would hope that
well, if I could interject for a minute.
Because like I feel like Tony has like a foundation for this or something.
If I could interject on like the way that Hayward shows Wanda the Vision, like Hayward might be arguably, I don't think I have to argue the case very hard, one of the less interesting characters in this show.
Yeah,
because he is.
He's
like
the least interesting Marvel character they could have done. There's just nothing.
It doesn't really have to be important. Like, I feel like it's actually better for him to be just a cookie cutter random
just a
bad
jobber,
guy.
just a evil government jobber.
We have so much going on right now. We have so much going on. We have Wanda's whole shit. We have Vision's whole shit. We have Jimmy Woo. We have Darcy Lewis, and we also have Monica now, who has powers.
Yeah, Quasar.
Wanda.
But I agree with all that. But like with
that, that would because you called.
That's what I kept saying. The name I kept just calling her Quasar. That also throwing back to TNAP old heads back when this came out originally.
I think she should take her. I think she should take her mom's moniker, Photon. I think that's
she almost certainly eventually will. But no, but like what I like so much about Hayward is like, while obviously he is not anywhere near as compelling a character as Wanda or Vision, and he is not as fun a villain to watch as Agatha Harkness,
my queen,
there is something compelling to him about the fact that he is your everyday,
I'm just following order,
regular guy. Wait, hold on. It's like he says, I'm a regular guy, beyond just following orders, trying to make sense of what the world looks like now. Hayward does not have the ability to rewrite what happened. He just kind of has to play it where it lies. And he is poisoned by this cynicism. And I think on some level, Hayward, at least at first, when Wanda first comes knocking at sword, I do think on some level Hayward is able to wants to try to level with Wanda. And on some level is like, hey, I'm glad you're back. Thank you for your service. That
people are
robot,
dead, and also they're gonna stay dead.
Some people die and they stay dead, and that robot corpse belongs to us. And I think on some level,
the way he said it belongs to us, though.
Because I think he's trying to be assertive, but I think also he's like, oh well, if I show her the body, she'll get closure. Because this is a military man. This is somebody who thinks like when you show somebody a dead body, they go, okay, they're dead, and the grieving process can maybe begin, and maybe play itself out. I truly don't believe that, like, at first Hayward did not have malice in his heart whenever he engages with Wanda. And I think it does make what could have just been a generic government spook secondary villain go from boring to, at the very least, having just enough pathos to him that, like, you do kind of look at him and go, damn. And yes, we see that, again, he's incredibly cynical. He's incredibly cynical in the way that he handles Vision. He sees Vision as a weapon. He wants the accolades of being the one to bring down Wanda Maximoff. But I think a lot of that is rooted from this is a guy who's been made to feel powerless by the world around him, much like Wanda. Much
He also
like Wanda, he's had all these choices taken away from him and has lost so much, and it has fundamentally altered his worldview that, like, on some level, yeah, I do kind of want to get back at somebody who is part of the problem in terms of all the superhuman malarkey, but also I kind of want to get back at her because she can do this and I can't.
he also shot
I-
at children.
He did, yeah.
Yeah.
He was gonna pump those kids full of lead, much like their uncle.
Runs in the family.
Literally, but
A so I don't necessarily think I feel bad for him because he was like totally willing to shoot children in the head. And then also
but
his
they're not real, it's
college.
fine.
I'm
Well,
not
Monica
saying
was
that
real.
absolves him of what he does.
Monica sure was real, and he shot the shit out of her.
And again, I agree. I'm not saying that absolves him of that. Hayward is a bad
Okay.
person, and I'm glad he's going to prison. I'm just saying, I think that even a character whose stories like this would just let be me government, me one superpower thing, and let that be all he has, they made a compelling choice with this archetype to have him have something that feels like it's lingering just beneath the surface.
Do you know what's even more compelling?
What?
Having an ounce of character, yeah, I agree.
Agatha Harkness.
Yes. A character with actual personality and purpose.
I
for a
think
story.
Agatha is so impressive. I think Catherine Hahn as Agatha is so great in this role. And I think that overall, the way that she performs this character is exactly what led us to having the Agatha All Along show. Oh, okay. Sorry, Richard's playing with his magic box. Um, so yeah, Agatha was, I think, one of the most well done characters in the show, except for her makeup in the final battle. I really have a lot of issues with it. I think her brows were too blocky, and I think her eyeshadow was cut too hard on the crease. I think if they would have gone a little bit softer, she would have been a little bit more, fine, like she was the entire rest of the show. But I think that like watching her through the show, knowing what we know about her, rewatching the show is so fun because we know that she knows. We know that she knows all of this is fake the entire time. And she is gauging whether like her performance on the other townspeople. So like whether or not the other townspeople are figuring out, hey, this isn't like normal, right? And then she is like, it's so not normal. It's so funny that you ask. It's crazy. It's almost like if one girl came to town, like could be her fault. Who knows? And she does this like amazing like spider web of just like sleight of hand pretty much to convince Wanda that not only she is an eternal ally from the very first moment she meets her, but to the very last time that Wanda trusts her in her house. We don't see that shift from her until she knows that Wanda knows that she's a fraud, that she's dangerous. And it is crazy how we see that progression. But just the way that like like I think the reveal, I think the song was such a great like I think it was such a great touch to add. I think that having it revealed that like she was the little voice that was like, don't you think you deserved it? As like all of the trauma in Wanda's life and everything that has happened since.
Yeah.
I think that is so like oh, it's so like it's so scary. It's so damning. It's so
It's insidious, and
yeah. It's so
it's predatory.
sinister.
It's predatory on some level because like Wanda has also had to deal with so many people around her throughout her life, kind of capitalizing on her grief, intentionally or not. Ultron does it to make her and Pietro loyal, goons to him. To a lesser extent, with none of the malice, but it's still the case. The Avengers kind of capitalize on it by putting her in a situation where it's like, hey, put that grief to good use. Like do something good in Pietro's name.
I mean, Steve does it with malice. Let's be honest.
I don't think there's malice there, but I do think on some
In
level
Civil War, there is.
there's still an amount of exploitation of her grief. And Agatha here is like, okay, I want to see. I'm kind of conducting a stress test on how far these powers can go and how much you actually know you're doing. And that brings me to two things I wanted to bring up. One, to do with the iconic Agatha All Along song. Another nugget, one of those things that was just so brilliantly woven into the show to reward those who were paying attention. I believe I have my music theory correct here. The Agatha All Along is a minor key interpolation of WandaVision.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is fucking brilliant. I love shit like that.
I love that.
It's just the evil version of the WandaVision jingle. The thing the other element to that with Agatha and that journey, like I was saying, is just it is exploitative, and it is, with Wanda. Yeah, Agatha could have stepped in at any moment if Agatha was not a deeply self-serving person.
Oh yeah,
Agatha could have stepped in sooner because I think the show supports
Agatha
this interpretation.
Loves Agatha.
Kanye
loves Kanye. Okay.
I think the show affirms this interpretation, but I do think on some level Wanda was not fully aware of what she was doing at first.
No,
and
I fully agree with that.
No.
I don't think.
I mean, that is the entire point of the show.
Yeah,
they make
she
that
doesn't know
abundantly
until
clear.
she's in like the 70s.
But there comes a point where she is aware, and that's when things do start to get sloppy and messy. And I think it speaks volumes about Wanda as a person that when she didn't know, things were bad and things were scary, but they were kind of on autopilot.
But also, I think everybody. I think the greater community in the like early version of her control, before she knew she was in control, I think everybody was doing better. A whole town.
For the most part,
I
still,
think the moment that she figured it out was when she had to loosen control over the like excess people, and they started to just be like hanging up Halloween decorations just over and over and over again. I think that started to come apart at that time.
Well, no, I think people who were on the outer edge were always like that, who were just always on some type of, as we say on Pro and Noob, low power muttering. But like once Wanda realizes what she's doing is when the illusion starts to crack, and she has to make conscious decisions about what is quote unquote making it to air. And what I think makes Agatha so insidious is that she could have stepped in.
Yeah.
She could have said, hey, Wanda,
hey, girlie,
person, I know who you are because you're a fucking Avenger. You're like mind controlling an entire town and people are suffering. This is bad. Let's get off the gas pedal a little bit with this and let everything level out. She doesn't choose to do that. She lets Wanda not only maintain control over Westview, but she watches what happens as she begins to lose control of it. As some of the townspeople become aware of what's happening and are like beseeching Wanda for mercy.
Yeah, and she makes it worse actively by communicating with the townspeople, like her her traveling all the way to the outskirts of town to meet up with Vision when how did she know he was going to be there necessarily? We don't know, and we don't care to know. Because
Ralph Boner told her. Like Ralph was like, Ralph said Vision's going on patrol. This is probably a ruse. Try to go intercept.
Well, yeah, he also she would have known because she talks to Herb all the time anyway.
Yeah.
God, what a smart lady. What a clever witch.
But yeah, it's she is again incredibly fun to watch, so compelling. She's doing like the scenery chewing. Like I think I said it back then, and I will say it again. I Ian McDiarmid in Revenge of the Sith comes to mind with that level of like I am having a gay old time playing the most evil son of a bitch ever. Like somebody who clearly loves their job right now. Both like the actor who's having so much fun playing someone so evil, but also like the
The
character
character who enjoys
loving being
so
this way.
evil. Yeah.
You know, like the way that again, it reminds me of Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith in the way that like there's a level of like legitimate, unironic glee in his voice when he's like walking down Yoda. He's like, my little green friend. Like there's an enjoyment to him. He's like, I never thought I'd get to fight you.
And
Yes.
that's Agatha being like, and you don't even know who you are.
Yeah. You
I
know,
love
and like taking her down the memory gauntlet, as I started calling it, because
Oh,
every single one of these shows
so good.
fucking does this,
Yep,
which I think is so funny that almost every MCU show has at least one episode solely dedicated to somebody having a traumatic flashback
Hey.
that sends them out the other end a fully recognized or fully put together, realized person. I just think that's so funny. And I can't wait to do Agatha all along. I can't wait to talk about Catherine Hahn and her just, no pun intended, spellbinding performance.
Catherine Hahn is one of the most wonderful people I think I've ever seen on television. Not only in her performance, her skills, her ability, her talent, her the way that she gets fully enveloped in the role, but also, god damn, is she fine? God, Lord.
Well, again, and I say this so much, and it comes up so often for me because I so often resent when the fantastical types of stories like this feel the need to lampshade itself, and there feels like they have to let there be an ironic sheen on things because they're afraid to commit to it fully. Catherine Hahn's performance in both WandaVision and Agatha all along is that of somebody who is not trying to lampshade. Like she's just playing this person as they live their everyday life. You know, I don't get a vibe from her that there is irony to be had here. This is just who Agatha is, you know, and it's one of those things like I can't define it, but I know it when I see it, when I feel like somebody's like, oh, but we kind of have to take a step aside and wink and nod. Like, even though I love Steve in the first Avengers movie, I do think on some level there's a little bit of lampshading and there's a little bit of irony injected into that character because he is so much a platonic ideal of a good man and a good soldier, a good like avatar of the American ideal and dream and what it should be, what was intended to be. That like that is such a big, lofty, aspirational idea. We need to make it so saccharine that you can't take it seriously. You know, and that's an example that comes to mind. There's none of that with Agatha. You know, we get background on her and Agatha all along that shows us why she is so self-serving, why she is so self-centered, why she is so willing to take advantage of other people who are hurting in similar positions that she has been in, that she lacks that critical empathy on so many levels. But we don't, at no point do we see that it is her performing it, and there's no wink and nod about it. She's just cheeky, and there's a wink and a nod in her personality, but it's not to cover up the fact that we literally have a Wicked Witch of the West bro type character. And I really admire that. I really respect that. And it's what I want more of in Cape shit. You know, again, we've said it so many times with the Road to Doomsday. James Gunn Superman gets it all right. Lex Luthor is just fucking like that. He's not some Mencius mole bug like, you know, Peter Thiel style, you know, tech oligarch. You know, there's no bizarre real estate hijinks and earthquakes. He is a tiny little man with an inferiority complex who wants to be a god, who envies the actual god, who has more humanity than he ever could. And that's all you need. That's all you need. But I would, if we may, for a moment, without any household appliance jokes, talk about the Vision.
I thought he was great. I love
He's
him in
so good in this.
this. I
He's so
love.
good.
He's so sweet. He's so caring. And granted, like it is the most idealized version of him. But it's
Mm.
also a very authentic version of him. He is he does just care that much, and he does just love her that much. And I think it is really fun to see this character humanized in a way we really don't get up until now. Like
You get a little bit of, like a
we
hint
get
of it
a
in
little
Infinity
bit,
War,
but
Right.
with
like
them being in Scotland, but that's about it.
but that's not even like that's
It's a prelude to what you get in here.
yeah, it's so momentary. It's so like it is so singular.
You get a
And
taste of it. I think a lot of that. I think a
what
lot of
they're
that
giving us now
humanity
in
is
it.
there. It's just he doesn't get the time in the spotlight
Yeah,
in any of
yeah.
his
There's
appearances
no way
until
you
now.
could.
Right.
There's no way you could. And that is kind of what is frustrating about his character is that there's no way you could get any sense of his character before this, genuinely. Because he just doesn't have the ability, like there's just not the time and the room in a screenplay for that. But here we get such a human synthezoid. We get a very like grounded, a very down to earth, like you have the most powerful synthezoid on earth playing Father's Home or whatever.
Father knows best.
Yeah, like you have such a powerful character who is simply so pleased with just being a husband and a father. And it is very refreshing because so often we see characters who are like, no, like Ego says in Gardens 2, you get like the like Brandy, my lady is the sea and she
Mm.
calls to me and I have to just keep going and going and going. Like you don't often get to see a character in these worlds who is so happy to just be a
Yeah.
guy, just be a regular, like,
And so tender.
Mm.
And just soft.
and
There's a
cares so
softness to the
deeply about his
Vision.
friends. He cares so deeply about all of those men he meets, and he spends time with them. He builds relationships with them. He is like we get to see in like the 60s how close he is with them after he goes to the meeting because like they are like that's our dude, man. Like that's our
Mm.
guy.
Yeah. We're
And
rocking with Vision because Vision's rocking with
because Vision's
us.
rocking with us. And like he builds these relationships that are so deep with these people. And then we get the finale where we see that, well, we get the middle, like where we know that he is part of the hex. We know that he is not real. But at the end, we get the ship of Theseus, and I think that is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful
Mm.
scene. I think the way it's acted, delivered, the way it's written, the way the characters move, and the way that the characters are speaking together, I think is so powerful because it is it's a situation of who are we, but the versions we think we are. What is a man, but the man he believes he is. It is so powerful because there is no version of yourself if you don't believe there is that. Like, it is really heady and deep, and, I think it's very beautiful. And at the end of all things, we get, uh, what? What's so
No,
fucking
no,
funny?
no.
God damn it, Mitch! God damn it! It's just Neon
Oh,
Genesis Evangelion! It's just fucking Evangelion! Motherfucker! Oh, god damn it, it's just
Ah,
Evangelion!
I didn't watch that show.
you should.
No.
No, you should watch it.
I
Oh.
like clips of
Just
it.
like, because the further we get away from the Pro Noob Evangelion series, the funnier it gets. Because I warned Jarod, once you watch this show, you will see it everywhere.
Taylor, while you were saying everything you were saying, which is very beautiful, very poignant, and very correct, Mitch and
Very
I,
correct.
in a way that I don't know how to explain because of the literal physical divide between Pittsburgh and the UK,
Mm.
locked eyes through I was even looking at the camera. I met Mitch's eyes on the monitor.
Yeah.
And it felt like he was seeing me not through the camera, but through this monitor. And we had a moment where he went, yeah, who wants to say the words human instrumentality, me or you? Like, that was the quiet conversation that just happened until it just broiled inside of me because he was so pleased with himself that he watched it happen. But no, you're right about all of that. And I think that there is one of the heady elements to this show that I quite love, and an idea that will persist with Wanda into Multiverse of Madness.
Such a hot version of her.
Is this
not objectifying?
Is this push and pull between deciding on reality? And I think it's one of the things that makes Wanda so tragic in the MCU is that, like, she gets this part of the equation so wrong. Is that she is presented the opportunity to accept that reality is what you make it, not because you can change it, but how you play those cards after you've been dealt them.
I mean, the boys
and
bring
what
it
you
up
do
in,
with those
like,
feelings. And
yeah, the mid-season with Sparky where the dog's dead and they're like, well, Mom, you can just change the world, so you should just bring the dog back to life. And she has to have that conversation where she's like, well, actually, I can't do that because I shouldn't do that. Not because I can't do that, but because I shouldn't do that. And we're
But
all
Daddy
like,
would do that in his own show in
but we're all
several years'
like,
time.
Done with, like,
you
four
peeked
different
out so
people.
hard that you said no words. What?
I was like, oh, well, isn't that what you kind of already did with like 3 different people, girlfriend? Like,
but now she knows. Now she knows it's not all right.
And but like exactly, and like where Wanda stumbles in Multiverse of Madness is her going, okay, well, if I'm not directly hurting anybody, this is okay. And
until she like destroys the Illuminati personally.
Yeah, but
that's also not entirely Wanda in that movie.
Well, that we'll unpack that when we get there. There is the influence
you can unpack
of the Darkhold.
But
what I'm trying to say is, Vision gets it right here, where he is able to go, as you said, Taylor, do the whole take it into a very I think therefore I am place, where it's like you have like 99% of the physical makeup of the Vision. You are now have all of his memories and his thoughts from before he was killed by Thanos. By all intents and purposes, if you want to be the Vision, you are now the Vision. Also, side note, the fact that the resurrected White Vision, the code name is Cataract, I never noticed. And that's so fucking cool. That is so clever. I had to do a lap around the living room because that shit fucking rules. But and I think that is what makes Vision so compelling, is that like he does get it. And I think because his mind, as much as he does feel and think and love and mourn, the Vision also has an academic distance from actually feeling the kind of grief that Wanda has felt ostensibly her entire life.
Yeah, he openly says that he has nobody to lose, therefore he could never experience grief.
He's able to go, oh yeah, well, you can just be Vision now. He's able to make that trade-off because he gave White Vision Cataract.
Well, he also knows that he's not.
He also knows that he doesn't actually
real.
exist. Right. But like, because he's able to impart that, he's able to empower this version of Vision, which I think is something that gets lost in the conversation a lot of the time, is that when people want to do the whole Wanda lost her mind over kids that never existed. Wanda did all these things to get her human vibrator
But
back,
they
and he
also
wasn't even real.
did exist. Like, it's so
But they
frustrating.
did exist. And the version of Vision that did live in Westview does live on in White Vision.
Yeah.
Because he's able to impart that. And because he was able to piece that together and Wanda wasn't, they go down to very different.
They painted him?
Probably.
What's that?
Do you think that they painted him? Like, did they airbrush him white? Like, how?
I assume so.
Because
Or
he
maybe
looked
the
white when we
synthezoid,
saw
maybe
him.
the flesh like responded to the new parts they had to put in to substitute the Mind Stone, that it like went away from being green and red. I don't know. But no, I love Vision here. I think one of my favorite moments from Paul Bettany as this character is when he first confronts Wanda. Whenever they like start levitating in the living room.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love so much about it is that the Vision is willing to negotiate and parse out and be very calm and kind and tender with Wanda when it's matters that affect only the two of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is the way he puts his foot down. He's like, Herb has a family, Wanda. Like like that is the only time we see him. Norm has a family, Wanda. We see him like pointing his finger in her face, like raising his voice. There is so much fury in him, and like I love that scene so much. Watching him for the first time, for us as the viewer, see him lose his patience with her. Because it's like, this is bigger than you. We both know you know good and goddamn better than what you are doing. And it also lends itself towards the direction the show goes in the way that it gets very meta. Because early into Wanda's, her hex, her illusion, the illusion that is equal parts on herself pardon my hiccups, on herself, it is this picturesque Dick Van Dyke, I Love Lucy, going into the Brady Bunch era where things start to fall apart. It is picturesque. It is idealized. It is the problems we encounter are minute at best and can be kind of slapstick through.
The magic show, yeah.
The magic show. What I think is really brilliant and what I don't see people talk about enough is the way we in popular culture, we get more cynical. We don't want to see things that are idealized. We want to see things as real and gritty and imperfect. And that extends all the way to the, things like The Dark Knight and conversations we've had about, the need to be dark and gritty and cape shit. But that also metastasizes into things that are still lighthearted. Things like Modern Family and Malcolm in the Middle, where it's not this picturesque mom and dad sleep in two different beds because obviously there's nothing carnal or suggestive happening there. Why would they? It's mom and dad. That doesn't exist. There's no poop. There's, you don't hear a toilet ever flush in those shows. Everything seems to work themselves out. There's a almost tacit condemnation of anything that is off the beaten path. Mr. Hart, we don't break bread with Bolsheviks, reacting to Wanda wearing a dress that shows a little bit of her chest. We see all of this like very picturesque, old-timey, old-fashioned saccharine Pollyanna idealism. And at the same time that Wanda's illusion on both the townsfolk and her ability to believe it herself is beginning to crumble, we are seeing these versions of these stories that are not just told as like before a live studio audience watching, but it is a first person talking to the camera, sometimes as a mockumentary, sometimes as just a fourth wall break in general, where it's starting to crumble. It's starting to be known that like something is wrong here, and it resembles the way that people in the 90s and the 2000s and the 20 teens, they didn't want I Love Lucy anymore. They didn't want the Brady Bunch anymore. They wanted poorly behaved kids and a little bit of vulgarity and hard to have conversations and messiness. And I think that it's brilliant that at the same time the facade breaks, we transition into things like a send up of Malcolm in the Middle and Modern Family
Mhm.
because it relies so much on, but real life is pretty messy though, isn't it? And accepting that this whole thing is a mess, isn't it? I think that that's brilliant that the jaunt through the history of the art form of the sitcom is also happening in lockstep with Wanda and Westview as a whole's grip on reality and grip on the situation. You know, it's like again another tiny thing that you don't notice unless you watch all 9 episodes in one sitting, like Taylor and I did. That every time Wanda says previously on WandaVision, it's less cheery.
It's changing,
every time.
yeah. Mm.
By the time you hit the Modern Family episode, she sounds angry.
Mm.
It's previously on WandaVision. Like there is a progression to it that elucidates the fact that she's aware this is bullshit. The townfolk are aware this is bullshit. Like people are being held hostage. She knows she's doing something wrong. She wants to run away from it. And part of what I love so much about the Modern Family episode and why I don't know if it's my favorite episode of the show, it's my favorite use of the tropes they're doing a send up of, is that instead of it being, you know, Claire and Phil Dunphy are arguing because Claire's very, you know, pragmatic and, you know, like has her eye on the ball, and Phil's kind of all over the place and he's a silly guy, but like he loves his family and he's doing things his way, even though he's a little aloof and all over the place. It's Wanda using that as cover to acknowledge she's doing something wrong. And that the part of her brain that has clearly always lived through sitcom rules goes, well, if I just look at the camera and acknowledge I'm a messy human being in the way Claire Dunphy can, I get to say I'm messy, even though my mess involves enslaving 1,000 flesh puppets to play out the history of sitcoms and resurrect my dead lover, like, and subject a bunch of people to that. It's like, what makes this show so good, could only be made for television, is that every single theme, idea, big picture, motif is in conversation with the very way they're telling the story. And that also applies to the commercials, which I think are maybe the unsung heroes of the structure here. That we have the way the commercials all get a little bit more edge to them as we go is that there is so much veiled behind them. You know, we have the it's just called an Ultron toaster, right? Made by Stark Industries.
So.
No, there's
I know it's the Strucker watch.
The Lagos paper towels.
Lagos paper towels where they're cleaning up red fruit punch that looks like blood for the messes you didn't mean to make. Fucking awesome. Whatever the toaster is, like, and obviously it harkens to them waiting for the bomb to go off and it's Stark tech, but like, it goes all the way to couching it in that, where like this toaster is a bomb, but this is also a commercial that would have come out during the Cold War. So there's this thinly veiled amount of like jingoism and patriotism. Like, yes, this notorious weapons company, Stark Industries, also made you a toaster. You know, like this show is just so densely packed. We could probably do like 3 or 4 episodes just on WandaVision for Road to Doomsday.
Yeah.
It's also called Toastmate 2000.
It's called Toastmate?
Toastmate. M-A-T-E.
Toastmate. I thought for some reason it was called Ultron.
I
think I made that mistake when the show first came out.
I think it's supposed to be an Ultron reference.
It definitely is, yeah.
I think it's a reference. I think he's right. I think it is a reference to the bomb that was in their house.
Because the beeping red light, yeah.
Yeah, but the Ultron, yeah, that's too on the nose, because the moment that she hears Ultron is when she knows that this isn't real, that none of this is real, and that Monica is there.
Yeah. Sorry, I have to text my brother back. But no, it's just so densely packed, and I love that, you know, again, I I vehemently disagree with the critique that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, where we find Wanda in that show, is in contrast to where we leave her here.
Mm, mm.
No, because we know what she has after this. Like,
And
we know
on some
Darkhold.
on some level, and again, I can't speak to this because I am lucky and I am fortunate enough to say that like I have never had to grapple with true life altering grief. I have had, I've had some friends who've passed away. I've had teachers and mentors who have passed away. But like, and not to say that their loss didn't deeply affect me and upset me, but it also wasn't like something that to this day, the world has less colors in it than it did before they went.
Yeah.
So like I can't speak on that aside from in a very vision way, in a kind of academic, I know people who have kind of thing. I think having Wanda leave this Westview debacle and go, wow, I really need to use my powers for good from now on, and never even for a little bit consider letting myself use these powers in a way that doesn't directly hurt a bunch of people and find ways to make it acceptable what I want to do. I think that is more compelling and more human than taking Wanda down the road of I
Well,
learned my
Monica says
lesson and
it.
I'm over
No,
it,
yeah, Monica says it throughout the show. Like Monica has to process the like very similar amount of grief in a very similar amount of time. She loses her mom and everybody she has known, her job, her life before everything. And what she does with that is she keeps moving, and that is very difficult for people to do. It's very difficult for Monica to do. She says it all the time in the show. Because she says specifically, if I had her power, I'd do the same thing.
Yeah.
If I was able to, I would have done that. She is never Monica never once demonizes Wanda for what she has done because of her grief, because Monica understands it on such a deep, like a deep soulful level. She understands that Wanda is not doing this to be malicious. She is doing this because she's already lost everything. Um,
Right.
and the only person who was ever willing to give her hope in a future and everything is gone too. And not only is he is gone in a way that he can never come back. Not her vision and not
Not fully.
her past and not her family and not her life and not the Avengers as they were and not the family that she formed there. Everything's gone, everything's different, and everything's wrong. Um, so she comes away from all of this with a piece of paper that was supposed to start her life anew, brand new, actually. And instead of that, she gets nothing. She gets an empty lot and a vacant foundation and the half, like that pipe dream of making it real by herself. Because what is the point? What's the point? What's the point? She has nothing. She has nothing left. And to take steps from losing everything to, you know, I much like Monica, if I had the same powers that Wanda Maximoff has in this universe or any other ones, my life would also look entirely different. Okay. Because
Everyone would do the same thing.
everybody would do the
I
same
know
thing.
people be like,
There
"Oh, I
are
would never do that." It's like you
That's
absolutely would.
bullshit because those people
Absolutely.
haven't experienced anything. Like
Mhm,
that's the thing. People
mhm,
who have never experienced genuine grief, loss, and
mhm. Even
like the
just
deep,
simple depression. I say simple to not to
but like the
minimize it.
deep
Like just
sadness
depression in
and
general.
deep the people who have never experienced that feeling of emptiness, um, would never be able to
No.
understand, because it is that simple to just get over it because they've never experienced it. Like,
Right.
when my dad passed away, I was in college. I was in my sophomore year of college, and I had so many people, my roommate included at the time, who would basically would like, well, my grandma died, so I totally get it. And it's like, no, your grandma was 90 and my dad was 46. So you don't, 48. You don't get it, actually. You fully don't get it. No, 46, yeah. You don't get to be like, oh, I get it because I've experienced death. You have not experienced immediate total loss. You have experienced what everybody experiences, which is the death of people you know who are super old. That happens. Crazier, I mean, dogs die when they get old, cats die when they get old, people die when they get old. That's a totally normal thing. People don't usually just die on a random Thursday of a heart attack under the age of 50. That's not normal. That is extremely abnormal. And for me to know that that's not normal, and then for everybody to basically be looking at me like, well, call me when you're better. Like, call me when you're back to normal, okay? Like,
Yes,
no
thanks.
problem.
No.
Yeah, call me like whenever you're ready to like go like whenever you want to go out, just call me. And it's like, I actually want to kill myself. I've lost the only person who has always been in my life and who has always been there for me. My best friend, the person who was putting me through college, who was going to finish, like, who's going to make sure I finished college, who was always going to be there for me, who took me to every Marvel movie, who took me to every movie that came out, who made sure that no matter what, if I wanted to do something, I was going to do it. And I lost that in one day, just well, one night. It was, knock, knock, knock. The police come through the door and they're like, hey, which one of you is Taylor? To me and my roommate in our dorm. Which one of you is Taylor? And I was like, fucking me, because I woke up from a nap thinking it was a friend who was knocking at the door. I was like, it's me. Like, what do you want? And he was like, okay. And then he shuts the door. And then the director of campus life pokes his head in and is like, hey, Taylor, your dad's dead. And I was like, what? It's crazy. It sounds like you said my dad's dead. And he was like, yeah, your dad is dead. He is dead. He's dead. And I was like, and this man is also a flaming homosexual, so like was not helping. But he was like, honey, your dad's dead. And I was like, wrongo. It's my birthday in 2 weeks. He can't be dead. He hasn't made plans with me for my birthday, so obviously not dead. And they were like, no, he hasn't made plans with you for your birthday because he's super dead. And you don't get that. Like, people don't know that like your whole life is different in a second. Everything is wrong and everything is never going to be the same. And for most people who have never experienced that, they have no idea what that means and no idea what that feels like, because how could you?
Yeah.
I didn't. I sure as fuck didn't. Like, I had said to my friends at, a year or so before, I was like, well, if my mom died, that would be pretty sad. My dad died, I would be like crushed. My grandparents died, I would be absolutely devastated. And then my dad died, and I was crushed. And then my mom died, and I was absolutely devastated. And then nobody else has died yet. So, knock on wood. Everybody's doing pretty okay right now. But like, it is, the grief is something that I have come to know so closely. Death is something that I have come to know very closely, very intimately. Like, I trigger warning, if that isn't necessarily. I found my mom when she passed away. My mom OD'd, and I found her, and it was something that I will never ever forget for the rest of my life. Because you don't.
No.
That's a permanent thing forever. And even that is like, what do I do? Where do I go from here? Like, I, you know, parents are never supposed to bury their children, but like children aren't supposed to bury their parents until it's time, and when you don't get that time, it's just different. It's just weird. It's very strange. It's very strange to talk to people who, you know, I am very, very lucky to have like Jared's family and everybody. Obviously, that goes without saying for me. Because it has been very difficult, but like they have made it a lot easier. But like it is, where do you go? Where do you go with that grief? Where do you put it? Where do you put it in your life, in your heart, in your soul? Like what do you do with it? The only thing that you can genuinely do is to just keep going. Like
Mm.
tomorrow, like the sun will always come up tomorrow. Like the seasons will change, the sun will come up, things are going to be okay. You just have to get there. And like it is so hard to get there. And like throughout this story, we see Wanda going through this, and it is so hard for her to get there, because how many times do you have to go there? How many times do you have to go there before it's enough? Before you've been there enough? Before the world and life and the universe stops making you go through that?
And not to interject, but like also again, and we're starting to angle towards multiverse of madness stuff here a little bit, but that's just because we can't help but acknowledge that we know the full
Mm.
trajectory of this story. But also, how much of a number does it do on you when all of those feelings you've described? Also, you're a being of primordial mystical power that can rewrite reality on a dime, and now you're also being corrupted by a book as ancient as evil itself. Like, what are you willing to do with that perfect cocktail to kind of cause destruction and mayhem?
I think anybody who has experienced like that deep level of grief and trauma, I think anybody
And that's
who
doing it
is,
once.
yeah,
This woman's done it twice, and you're
Yeah.
asking her to then get rid of the memories,
yep,
the actual manifestation of the memory she has of him.
yep.
No,
And her and
And her
the
children.
and
and the
the
kids, yeah.
very real kids that she
Mm.
has, because she is too OP to function.
I just got to say real quick, and again, when we're going to wrap up here soon, and again, we're starting to angle towards multiverse of madness stuff, and we'll talk more about this when we get there. And I'm very excited too because it's one of my favorite Marvel movies of all time, one of my favorite comic book movies of all time. Um, Anybody who talks down on Wanda for mourning not just the Vision but also Tommy and Billy, and are like, oh, they weren't even real and she did all
Oh,
that.
if anybody has that statement, that I don't want to hear you for Agatha all along. I don't want to hear any kind
You're
of
like, you're
love
so
or
fucking
affection
wrong.
for Billy.
You're so fucking
Sorry.
wrong for that. You're so wrong for
I
that.
don't want to hear any
You
love for Billy, and I don't want to hear any love for Tommy later on. I don't want to hear none of it.
I know this is all fake. I know it's all pretend. Um that is what those are one of those takes that I'm like, I hear that and all I see is like a stunning lack of empathy
Mm.
that I'm like, and the part of
They
my
are
brain
just as
immediately
much as
goes,
everything else a manifestation of her grief and trauma, but like also
Not anymore.
they are
Not
they
anymore.
are they are tangible. Like they are
yeah.
real.
Mm.
And
And
they
again,
have their own personalities, they have their own like minds, they have their own thoughts and everything else. Like they are tangible and real,
Mm.
and they show that time and time again throughout this series, and then Agatha all along.
it's just one of those red flag takes And I know that 90% of the people saying it are the same people who defend Anakin in the prequels. And I'm sorry, if y'all are going to talk that way about Tommy and Billy, that motherfucker committed genocide because he had a nightmare. Like, if we want to talk about it like that, let's talk about it like that. That man murdered children because he had a bad dream. And I will not hear it. I will not entertain it. I think it's a horrendous fucking take. And I'm just planting my flag now. I think to reduce it to that is like kind of the opposite of empathy and understanding what this story is about. But
media literacy isn't for cape shit, Jarod.
let's not even talk
Should
about
never know.
literacy. Let's
no.
talk about literacy.
Well, with that, Mitch, I know Taylor and I have been going for a minute. I kind of want to give you the floor here because I know you love this story. I know you love these characters.
I do.
So I do want to give you a minute because we kind of been going for a minute here.
To be fair, the last like half an hour, I've been trying not to laugh at Neon Genesis again. I just been sitting there going, no, fuck. No, I love this show. You might have noticed this, Jarod, doing pro and noob. I have a thing for like really traumatic stories.
Yeah.
No, I'm a particular type. Maybe therapy will uncover why one day, but who knows? No, I love how it's structured. I love how like the first 7 episodes are just the stages of grief.
Yeah.
And you get to the eventual acceptance and everything. Acceptance quotes for this character because she's never gonna have.
Well,
that.
there's never like that. There is never that. Like acceptance is accepting. Period. Like that's not. There's
an acceptance that this is wrong. Like this is what she shouldn't do.
I mean, just even in the terms of the stages of grief, like acceptance is not like, all right, I'm fine. Because like that never is real and never will be. But like acceptance is just acknowledging the fact that like this happened. I will be okay and I will keep moving. Like that's it. That's all that gets to be.
It's also the acceptance of I shouldn't do this here in this town where there's other people. Let me fly away to a cabin far
in the middle of the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And make this Benedict Cumberbatch's problem.
No, he made that his own problem.
Technically, it's America Chavez's problem.
Yeah, make this America Chavez's problem.
I mean, Marvel forgot about her, so did I. That's fair enough. Yeah, just let Wanda have the kids. They're real. Come on now.
Just let her be happy. Fuck, that's all I'm asking. God, please.
Wanda
please let that woman be happy.
It's always funny. People want. How did you put it in the Homecoming episode? Misery porn for Peter Parker.
Yes.
No,
people want that for Peter Parker, yet you have the actual misery porn character. People hate her for it.
Everybody
doesn't matter what medium she's in, comics, TV, movies. People hate her for it.
Yep.
But if it's the little,
she's always just going through the worst thing that's ever happened to anybody at any given time.
And that's why the mutants should go.
No more. I feel like I should get really close up to the camera and then just only have my profile.
No more podcasters.
No more show.
Stop. Move away from the cookie jar. But if that's all we have for this one, I absolutely love this show. It's so good. And unfortunately,
it's crazy they peaked at the first hurdle and then never. They kind of got close to it, I guess. But
listen, I don't know. This show is absolutely so phenomenal. That I have nothing bad to say, and I can't.
No. I have one bad thing to say.
What's your one bad thing to say?
They didn't include I can't remember the fucking character's name. Only Taylor would know exactly what I'm talking about. The cow. The Wonder Gore cow.
Yeah.
Where the fuck?
Oh my god, what's her name? What's her name? I have her on my comics. She's literally she's on the cover of like so many of my comics.
She is. You have the perfect chance to put her in a show it would make sense in. Because forget Wonder Gore and Multiverse of Madness, that's barely Wonder Gore Mountain as it is. But just weird trippy cow maid. Just
Bova.
That's the one. I knew it was something like that.
Bova.
Bova's classic. Bova raised Wanda.
Bova, that's her mother. Okay. That's their mother. because their real mama died.
R.I.P. Miss America.
Both of these nuts. I'm sorry.
All right, we're gonna end the show.
Yeah.
And you'll see us tomorrow. You'll see us later.
Unsubscribe from the Nerd
tomorrow.
Academy podcast. Go watch New Rockstars Road to Doomsday, the only real Road to Doomsday.
Yeah, our show is
Yeah.
over now. Unfortunately,
Taylor's
we cannot
emailing New
recover.
Rockstars a job application
Honestly, I'm just saying, hey, do you want
and
me
an
as a
eviction
contributor?
notice for me.
You want me as a contributor?
Eric, if you
I am
want a better logo
free.
for your show, you can have this one. I'll just change the orange on it. It's fine.
My God,
It's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself.
it doesn't matter. You're canceled.
I'm canceled. Mitch, where can the lovely people find you, my friend?
Well, after that, I can't plug my stuff because you're fucking
No, yeah, you don't want to.
Yeah. Blue
There's a
Sky, any place
liability.
Jared's not there. He is, but not for me. Mitch692 at .bluesky.social, whatever the fuck it is. Linktree.
Big Bang
You
Boom.
can also catch us on Pro and Noob where we're watching Attack on Titan.
Oh, somebody has to plug it.
I'm watching Attack on Titan, the Pro podcast. The Pro and podcast. There you
Pro
go.
and.
Yeah.
That's like when Hassan changed his podcast and I hate the name of it and I fucking hate it because it used to be Fear and Molding, but now it's just Fear and the name sucks now. But anyway, but all jokes aside, go check out Pro and Noob. We're having a really good time watching Attack on Titan.
Yes.
I'm not.
Taylor's not. It's the scariest thing she's ever seen.
I don't like it. I don't like zombies, and I don't like people eating people.
They're not zombies. They're big drunk guys.
I say, what are they, Mitch? What are they? What are they?
People.
You don't know what they are, Jared.
I don't want anybody chomping on anybody else. Okay, that's the rule.
But yeah,
unless
check that
it's
out.
in like a fun, sexy way.
But
remember, the Santa Claus Titan was almost the protagonist of that show.
Unless it's in a fun, sexy way, teeth should stay to yourselves, okay?
Also, Pro and Noob comes out on the same day as every episode of The Road to Doomsday.
Does,
so
yes.
whenever you're done
Jared
watching
stole
this,
the day of my show.
Marvel Monday. It's Marvel Monday.
My God, have a double dose of Jared for all those Jared stands out there.
Of which there are
they've all
few.
gone now.
Of which there are few.
Hey, you always have me, honey.
I appreciate it.
Even after that, wow.
Yeah, you know, that's just how deep our love runs. Call me Wanda. This is my vision.
The redemption, the redemptive power of love. Taylor, where can the lovely people find you, my dear?
I suppose you can find me on Blue Sky at Quicksilver Girl GRRL. Whatever. I don't care how that works. Jared, what about you?
You guys can find me on Blue Sky and Instagram at DarkJedi2552. I'm gonna be honest. There was a part of me that was like wanting to go to the most recent episode of CBC I was on just to give everybody a palate cleanser of hearing mean comments about me.
I think was the last episode we did.
That sounds right. But Blue Sky and Instagram, DarkJedi2552, and you can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts, and on our website, thenerdacademypodcast.com, where if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon. Patrons get $5 patrons get early access to every single episode of The Road to Doomsday, as well as exclusive access to our audio commentary series.
And exclusive access to being my best friend.
To being Taylor's best friend. And $10 patrons get all of that, plus shout-outs at the end of every episode. So thank you to Paco and Ray Clausen. Also, I feel like this goes without saying, we record these episodes really, really early ahead of time when they are released in the main feed.
Yeah, so if you're my best friend later, sorry, just DM me and
we'll catch up. We'll catch up to it eventually.
I'll be like, hey, babe.
Because this episode isn't coming out until like mid-March, and this is being recorded in early February.
Wow,
so.
Jared, nice.
Early February. It's the first for them.
For Mitch, it's the second.
It is the second, yeah.
It is. But all of that to say,
that's how time works.
Just
I'm in the present.
Taylor's stealing my bit, where every time I edit an intro and an outro, independent of an episode, I do and you guys just heard from future Jared, who is the past for you, but the future for me, but the past now. You stole my timey-wimey bit. But yeah, so
It's all
just shoot me from
instrumentality
hell.
We're in
in
the
one
eye of the
Evangelion.
Jeremy
It's fine.
Baramy right now, okay? We're in the eye of the Jeremy Baramy. If you get that reference, you
That's
automatically are my best
fantastic,
friend.
Ray. Fantastic, Ray.
Thank you.
I know
automatically
that,
are-
and I
I
can't
love
think of
that
where
show.
it's from.
Doesn't matter, Jared. You
Oh,
haven't seen the show,
divorce
go
this
fuck
man
yourself.
already. Get
We're
rid
not
of this
married,
man.
actually, so
I mean, marry and then divorce him. Just get
Got
rid
it.
of him.
no problem.
Get a prenup so you can get him.
I'll
out.
write it in. Yeah, I was gonna say I'll actually write it in the prenup clause. So like, if he hasn't seen that show, which we won't name because he doesn't deserve to know it, that if he hasn't seen it by
He's
the time we
googling
get
it
married,
right now. and
No,
that's
I'm
the sad
not.
part.
I'm
no,
not.
he's definitely not.
He says he's looking
Um,
down at his laptop.
Yeah,
I am. I'm trying
we're
to
gonna get
find. I'm trying to
divorced
find
if he
meme
can't-
comments. 'Cause it's
If he
funny.
can't say where that comes from at our wedding,
Hmm.
you'll be there during it. Consider this a pre-invite.
When is
It's a
when is
save
it,
the
Jarod?
date, but we
When
don't
is it,
have a
Jarod?
date.
I'll save a date. There you go.
Yeah, save a date.
Save
just
a
not.
I'll mark it. I'll mark it. How did Wanda mark it? I've forgotten the calendar.
Oh, wait a minute. I forgot one of my favorite jokes in the whole show. I wrote it down so I could read it.
Fuck us, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
You can move at the speed of sound, and I can make a pen levitate. Who needs to abbreviate? So fucking funny.
Yeah, the heart. That's exactly how you're gonna mark
Heart
the
on
date.
for Mr. and Mrs. Hart.
Thank you
Yeah.
for answering the question, Taylor. I appreciate it.
No, you reminded me because I was about to get there. But anyway,
I got you.
yeah. So check all that out. You can catch Taylor and I.
I'll
over
give.
on the
I'll
All
send.
Remaining-
I'll actually send you a sticker with it, so you don't even have to draw it on. I'll send you. I'll send you a little heart sticker.
Perfect.
You can catch Taylor and I over on the All Remaining Systems YouTube channel for
We're not
Luminous
even
Odyssey,
engaged, by the way.
the
so.
High Republic RPG series.
Wow, Jarod. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
We're
Can
talking
I,
Put your
about the most
fucking finger
can I
out
plug?
there,
Can I
Jesus.
plug?
We're
Can
talking
I
about the most
plug?
romantic
Let us
show
know
of
in the comments
MCU.
below what you thought of One Evangelion. There you go.
Yeah, let me know when you think Jared's gonna propose to me in the comments. So asshole.
Get in the comments with when you think I'm going to propose.
Honestly, that'd be so fucking funny. If somebody's right, I feel like I have to send them something. If you're
somebody
right,
predict-
if
if
you're
somebody
right, you're
predict
coming to
you're
the
fine.
wedding.
Yeah.
But that's not fair because Jared's just going to look at one of the dates and go, there.
No, but it would. But how would he know? I mean,
Because he's going to look at the comments. It's
that's-
his channel.
Stop. Okay, hold on.
He gets a notification for every comment.
DM me. DM me on Blue Sky. Whatever.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'm plugging now. I'm plugging.
Aw,
Doing the rest of the plugs.
Okay.
We're gonna finish the
You
show.
can catch Taylor and I
Mwah.
on Luminous Odyssey, the High
Jared's
Republic
5
RPG
hours of
series.
plugs.
It's 5 hours because you are both menaces.
No,
I was
it's
literally
not our
thinking.
fault.
I was legitimately like, I can't believe we haven't gotten to the point where it's a Mitch episode where Taylor and Mitch don't completely railroad me into oblivion.
You brought this on
Jared,
yourself.
It's been so long. It has been a long time, and we've been so good.
It's
I held
Really
back
not.
so much for Endgame. So much.
I never hold back, but I've been very nice tonight.
okay. Luminous Odyssey on the All Remaining Systems YouTube channel. High Republic RPG. Taylor and I are both in it,
That
along
was
with
so
Alden
rude.
and Joe Organa. You
I
can
almost died
also
last time.
yes, Taylor did almost die last time. Epic Confrontations and Star Wars Trivia League. By the time you're seeing this, I would be astounded if my team's match with Michael isn't out by now. Go check that out. And obviously, Pro and Noob with Mitch. Like I said, we're watching Attack on Titan. But as I said, we are already at the beginning of Phase 4. And while this show is a masterpiece, the next one, I'm going to be honest, is kind of fucking doo-doo. Next week, we are watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a show that thinks it has something to say.
A show that sure did come out.
A show that sure does exist. Falcon and the Winter Soldier might be one of the shows of all time.
I will not be here because
Walker's
Jared
in
wants
it.
someone to talk about it.
John Walker's, and so is Bucky Barnes, that hot piece of ass.
It's got Daniel Broad as well.
Hey,
The only good thing to come out of that
I
show
don't
is
actually
just
really care about that guy.
Oh, he's so good though.
I actually hate him because I don't like his plot in Civil War. I think it's dumb, and I think he's kind of an idiot.
Are you talking about Zemo or Daniel Brawl?
I'm talking about Zemo.
I think.
Yeah, I don't care about the actor.
Thank
He sounds great, actually, but
I
whatever.
watched Rush. He's really good in Rush.
Didn't see it.
It's really good.
But we will talk all about Falcon
I
and the
saw
Winter
Rush
Soldier.
Hour.
Not the same.
We'll talk all about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
It's got Chris Hemsworth in it. In Rush.
Oh, not Jackie Chan?
No.
Fuck. Okay.
No.
We'll talk all about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
You know what I
Next
really like
steps.
though?
What do you really like, Mitch?
I can't remember now.
Oh,
There was a
On the next steps
buzzing
on the
in
road
my
to
headset.
Doomsday.
I just couldn't hear it.
Stop! Move away from the cookie jar!
Fuck!